Hello students, today we will see a numerical question of a retirement of a partner. The question is P, Q and R were equal partners. Their balance sheet as at 31st March 2018 is bills payable rupees 20,000, creditors 40,000, general reserves 30,000, profit and loss account rupees 6,000 and capital account for P it is rupees 60,000, Q rupees 40,000, R rupees 32,000. Let us pass on to the other side. Cash rupees 20,000, stock rupees 20,000, furniture rupees 28,000, debtors rupees 45,000, less provisions for doubtful debt rupees 5,000, land and building rupees 1,20,000. Let us see the additional information. Q retired on 1st April 2018. P and R decide to continue the business as equal partner on the following terms. Point number 1, goodwill of the firm was valued at rupees 57,600. Point number 2, the provisions for doubtful debt to be maintained at the rate of 10% on debtors. Point number 3, land and building to be increased to rupees 1,32,000, furniture to be reduced by rupees 8,000. Point number last, rent outstanding not provided for as yet was rupees 1,500. Amount due to Q be settled by paying rupees 10,000 in cash and the balance be transferred to his loan account. Prepare necessary ledger account and the balance sheet. Now dear students, we will have to prepare the revaluation account, partners capital account and the balance sheet. Now first we will prepare the revaluation account. Now let us see how to post in the revaluation account. The way in which we record in the revaluation account, as I told you in the admission of the partner, will remain the same in the retirement of the partner. Let us see how we can prepare the revaluation account. Whenever the value of assets increases, that has to be recorded on the credit side of the revaluation account, and whenever the value of assets decreases, that has to be posted on the debit side of the revaluation account. Whenever the value of liability increases, that has to be posted on the debit side of the revaluation account, and whenever the value of liability decreases, that has to be posted on the credit side of the revaluation account. Now let us pass on to the additional information for recording the transactions under revaluation account. See the very first point, it is goodwill of the firm was valued at rupees 57,600. See, this item will find the place in the partner's capital account. Let us pass on to point number 2. The provisions for doubtful debt to be maintained at the rate of 10% on debtors. Dear students, here you have to calculate 10% of debtors. See what is the value of debtor given in the question. It is rupees 45,000. You have to calculate 10% of 45,000. So it will be rupees 4,500. So the new provisions for doubtful debt which we have calculated is rupees 4,500, and in the old balance sheet provisions for doubtful debt is given to you as rupees 5,000. Here in this case we see that the value of the provisions has reduced by rupees 500. Therefore, we can say that the value of liability has decreased, and when the value of liability decreases, that has to be recorded on the credit side of revaluation account. So, here on the credit side, first you will write down as by provision for doubtful debt account, and the amount will be rupees 500. Now, let us pass on to the next additional information. The next additional information is land and building to be increased to rupees 1,32,000. The new value of land and building is given to you as rupees 1,32,000. Let us see the old value of land and building given to you in the balance sheet. It is rupees 1,20,000. Now, on comparing these two figures, we can say that the value of land and building has increased by rupees 12,000. And as I told you that whenever the value of assets increases, that has to be posted on the credit side of the revaluation account. So, building has also to be recorded on the credit side of the revaluation account. So, here you have to write down as by building account, and the amount will be rupees 12,000. Now, after writing about the provisions for bad and doubtful debt, let us pass on to the next additional information. The next additional information is land and building to be increased to rupees 1,32,000. 1,32,000 is the new value of the land and building, and let us see what is the old value of land and building. The old value of land and building is rupees 1,20,000. On comparing these two figures, we can say that the value of land and building has increased by rupees 12,000. Now, as I told you that whenever the value of assets increases, that has to be posted on the credit side of the revaluation account. Now, we will post that on the credit side of revaluation account. What we will write down? By land and building account, and the amount that will be recorded here will be rupees 12,000. Now, let us pass on to the next additional information. The next additional information is furniture to be reduced by rupees 8,000. Now, see here in this case, the value of furniture has reduced, and whenever the value of assets decreases, that has to be posted on the debit side of the revaluation account. Now, it means that furniture will have to be recorded on the debit side of the revaluation account. So, write down here as to furniture account, and the amount with which it has reduced has to be recorded, and that is rupees 8,000. Now, let us pass on to the next additional information. Rent outstanding not provided for as yet was rupees 1,500. There is one additional information, and that is about the rent outstanding. Rent outstanding is not shown in the old balance sheet. Now, you have to take it into account. Now, here we will have to record for the rent outstanding, which is a liability. Now, here the liability has increased, and as I told you that whenever the value of liability increases, that has to be recorded on the debit side of the revaluation account. So, write on the debit side as to rent outstanding account, and the amount will be rupees 1,500. Now, there is no other additional information. Now, what we will do is we will close the revaluation account. When we close the revaluation account, we see that the total of the credit side is bigger. So, it means that there is a credit balance. Credit balance means there is a profit on the revaluation, and this profit on the revaluation will have to be distributed among all the partners. Now, for that you have to record on the debit side as to profit on a revaluation transferred to partners capital account. Now, the partners are P, Q and R. Among these three, the amount of profit will be distributed. Let us see what is the total of the credit side. It is rupees 12,500. Now, let us write the same figure on the debit side. It is rupees 12,500. Now, subtract rupees 9,500 from 12,500. The balancing figure will be rupees 3,000. Now, let us see that how much each partner will get. Now, we will calculate here. For P, he will get out of rupees 3,000 and his share in profit is 1/3. So, he will get rupees 1,000. Similarly, P will also get rupees 1,000 because their profit sharing ratio is equal. R will also be the same, 3,000 into 1/3, he will also get rupees 1,000. So, each partner will get rupees 1,000. So, now we can write here as rupees 1,000, 1,000 and 1,000. Now, this is the way in which we will prepare the revaluation account. Students, if you want, you can take a screenshot of it. Now, after revaluation account, let us prepare the partner's capital account. This is the column for particulars. This is the debit side, P, Q, R, particulars, P, Q, this is for R. This is the credit side. Now, students, let us prepare the partner's capital account. You know very well that the very first thing that has to be recorded in the partner's capital account is the opening capital of all the partners. So, it will be recorded on the credit side of the partner's capital account. What you will write on here? It will be recorded as by balance brought down. Now, let us see what is the capital given in the old balance sheet for P. It is rupees 60,000. For Q, it is rupees 40,000 and for R, it is rupees 32,000. So, the very first thing is recorded. Now, let us pass on to the next item that has to be recorded. As I told you earlier also, the very next thing that has to be recorded is the profit or loss from the revaluation. In this question, we have seen that there was a profit on the revaluation. Now, let us record that profit on the revaluation in the partner's capital account. So, this here it is a profit. In this question, it was a profit. So, the profit will have to be recorded here. So, by revaluation account, and each partner got rupees 1,000. So, write rupees 1,000 in each column. Now, let us pass on to the next item that has to be recorded in the partner's capital account. Let us pass on to the old balance sheet. The next item is general reserves that has to be recorded. General reserves given in the old balance sheet is rupees 30,000. This 30,000 rupees will have to be distributed among all the three partners equally, as because they were sharing the profit and losses equally. Now, let us calculate first of P. So, 30,000 into 1/3. So, the first partner will get rupees 10,000. Q will also get rupees 10,000. 1/3 is equals to 10,000. Similarly, R will also get rupees 10,000. This amount of rupees 10,000 in each partner capital account will have to be recorded now. On which side we will record? It will be recorded on the credit side. So, on the credit side you have to write as by general reserves account, and each partner will get rupees 10,000. After this, let us pass on to the next item in the balance sheet. The next item is the profit and loss. This is the profit of the previous year which was not distributed among the old partners. Now, you have to distribute this amount. What is the amount that is shown in the balance sheet for the profit and loss account? It is rupees 6,000. This amount of rupees 6,000 will be distributed equally among all the three partners. So, P will get out of rupees 6,000 and he will get rupees 2,000. So, it means that Q will also get rupees 2,000 and R will also get rupees 2,000. Now, this amount has also to be shown on the credit side of the partners capital account, right here as by profit and loss account. Now, the amount is rupees 2,000 and we have recorded it. Now, let us pass on to the asset side. You have to see if there is any such old goodwill. If there is any such old goodwill given, then such old goodwill has to be written off among all the three partners. But here in this question, no such old goodwill is given to you. Now, let us pass on to the additional information. Q retired on 1st April 2018. P and R decided to continue the business as equal partner on the following term. Let us see point number 1. Goodwill of the firm was valued at rupees 57,600. This is the goodwill of the entire firm. Now, as one partner is going out of the partnership business, he should get his share of the goodwill. By whom he will get his share of the goodwill? He will get the share of goodwill by the gaining partners. Now, let us find out what is the share of goodwill of the outgoing partner, that is of Q. So, here we will find out Q's share of goodwill is equals to 57,600 rupees is the goodwill of the entire firm into what was Q's share? It was 1 by 3. Let us calculate this. 9 is 27. So, it is rupees 19,200. So, 19,200 rupees is the share of goodwill that Q should get. Now, let us find out the gaining ratio. What will be the gaining ratio? How you are calculating the gaining ratio? Gaining ratio is equals to new share minus old share. For calculating the gaining ratio, you should know the new share and the old share. Let us write here first. Old share is 1:1 and new share is also 1:1. Now, gaining ratio of P, new share is 1 by 2 minus, what is the old share? 1 by 3. 3 minus 2 is equals to 1 by 6. R 1 by 2 minus 1 by 3 is the old share, is equals to 3 minus 2 is equals to 1 by 6. So, the gaining ratio of P and R is 1:1. So, it means that both the partners has gained, and if both the partners has gained, then in such case the general entry will be P's capital account debit, R's capital account debit to Q's capital account. Now, let us find out that how much P will give and how much R will give to Q. His share of the goodwill which Q should get is rupees 19,200. Now, how much P will give? Into 1 by 2. 2 ones are 2, 2 nines are 18, 2 6 are 12, 0 0. It means that P will give rupees 9,600 and R will also give rupees 9,600 because they have gained in equal ratio. Now, as I told you, the general entry, here in this general entry, Q's capital account has been credited. So, you have to write on the credit side. What you will write down? You have to write down as by P's capital account, and this amount will be given to Q. So, you have to write in the column of Q. Similarly, R will also, R's capital account will also be debited, and rupees 9,600 rupees will be taken from the R's capital account and will be transferred to Q's capital account. Now, let us see the other side of the general entry. The other side of the general entry was P's capital account was debited and R's capital account was debited. Now, for that we will have to record on the debit side. What you have to write? To Q's capital account. From P's capital account, rupees 9,600 was taken, and from R's capital account 9,600 rupees was taken and was transferred to Q's capital account. Now, after recording for the goodwill, now let us pass on to see the other terms. The other term which was given at the end was amount due to Q be settled by paying rupees 10,000 in cash and the balance be transferred to his loan account. Now, let us first find out that what is the balance in the Q's capital account that we will have to pay. Q's capital account 0 0, 12 2, 1 balance 10, 19, 21, 22, 2 balance 6, 7. It is 72,200. Now, here we have to make the payment of rupees 72,200 to Q. But as in the additional information, it was very clearly said that now we will make the payment of rupees 10,000 in cash to Q. For that purpose, let us pass the general entry. The general entry will be Q's capital account debit to cash account. See, in this general entry, Q's capital account has been debited. So, on the debit side you have to write as to cash account. And how much we are making the payment? We are making the payment to an extent of rupees 10,000. Now, what is the balance left in his capital account which will be transferred to his loan account, and that is rupees 62,200. How we get this rupees 62,200? Because the total of the Q's capital is rupees 72,200, and out of this we have paid rupees 10,000 to Q in cash. So, what is the balance left? It is 62,200. Right here as 62,200, and this amount of rupees 62,200 will be transferred to his loan account. So, to Q's loan account will be recorded here. Now, after this, what we will do is we will close the partner's capital account. When we close the partner's capital account, let us total this 32, 42, 44, 45,000. So, it will be 45,000. The same figure will be recorded here. It is 45,000. Now, if you subtract 9,600 from 45,000, the balance left is 004,453. It is 35,400. So, here you have to write as 35,400, and here you have to write as to balance carried down. Now, it is for Q, it is 72,200. Now, let us close for P. The total here is 60, 70, 73,000. The same figure has to be recorded here as rupees 73,000. Subtract rupees 9,600. 00436. It is 63,400. So, dear students, this is the way in which we will prepare the partner's capital account. If you want, you can take a screenshot of it. Now, students, we will see that how the items will find the place in the balance sheet. You know very well that the very first item that has to be shown on the liability side is the capital account. So, we will write here as the partner's capital account. The partners left in the partnership business now is P and R, and their capital balances shown was 63,400 and for R it was 35,400. Total these two figure and take it to the outer column 00889. It is 98,800. Now, let us pass on to the next item. The next item given in the old balance sheet was bills payable. The amount that is shown in the bills payable was rupees 20,000. You have to record the same figure as because neither the value of bills payable has increased nor it has decreased. So, you have to record the same figure here as bills payable. Bills payable. So, the amount is rupees 20,000. Let us pass on to the next item. It was creditors. The value of the creditors has also to be recorded as the same which is given in the old balance sheet as because neither its value has increased nor has decreased. So, it is creditors rupees 40,000. Now, let us pass on to the next item. Here Q had to be paid rupees 62,200 which was transferred to his loan account. That is the liability of the business, and now that liability has to be shown on the liability side as Q's loan account, and the amount here is rupees 62,200 that is shown here. Let us pass on to the asset side. The very first item is the cash account. Cash account is shown as rupees 20,000. You might be remembering that we have made a payment of rupees 10,000 to Q. So, subtract that 10,000 rupees from 20,000, the balance left is now rupees 10,000 only. So, that 10,000 has to be shown here. Now, it is rupees 10,000. Now, let us pass on to the next item, that is the stock. The stock's value which is shown in the old balance sheet is rupees 20,000. The value of stock has neither increased nor decreased. So, what you have to do is you have to show the same figure here for the stock, and it is rupees 20,000. Now, let us pass on to the next item. It is furniture. The value of the furniture given in the old balance sheet is rupees 28,000. See the additional information. In the additional information, it was clearly said that furniture to be reduced by rupees 8,000. It means that the value of the furniture has reduced by rupees 8,000. So, you have to subtract rupees 8,000 out of 28,000. So, what is the balance left now? It is rupees 20,000. So, write down here as furniture account, and the amount that will be shown on the asset side is rupees 20,000 for furniture. Now, let us pass on to the next item. It is debtors. Write here as debtors, and the amount has to be written in the inner column, less provisions for doubtful debt. We were asked to calculate 10% as provisions for bad and doubtful debt. and we had calculated it was amounted to rupees 4,500. That 4,500 rupees has now to be subtracted. If we subtract, it is rupees 40,500. Let's pass on to the next item, and it is the land and building. The value of the land and building given in the old balance sheet is rupees 1,20,000, and in the additional information it was clearly said that the land and building to be increased to rupees 1,32,000. 1,32,000 is the new value of land and building. Now this value has to be recorded in the balance sheet. So write down here as land and building account, and the amount will be rupees 1,32,000. Now see, we have recorded all the items which were given in the balance sheet. Now let's pass on to the additional information. If anything is left, now we will record it in the balance sheet. Now let's take point number 1. Goodwill of the firm was valued at rupees 57,600. For this we have made the adjustment in the partner's capital account. Point number 2, provisions for doubtful debt to be maintained at the rate of 10% on debtor. See, we have made the adjustment for that also. Now let's pass on to point number 3. Land and building to be increased to rupees 1,32,000. We have already made the adjustment. Next is furniture to be reduced by rupees 8,000. Here we have already subtracted the amount, and now the new value of the furniture is rupees 20,000. We have recorded it also. Point number 5 is rent outstanding not provided for as yet was rupees 1,500. This is the information which has to be recorded now. Now it is to be recorded on the liability side. So it is rent outstanding account, and the amount is rupees 1,500. This we have recorded. Now nothing is to be recorded. What we will do is we will close the balance sheet. If we total the asset side, it is 500 to 11, 12, 2, 1 balance. It is 2,22,500 on the asset side. We should get the same figure here also. 0, 0, 8, 10, 15, 5, 1 balance, 2, 4, 12, 2, 1 balance, 7, 11, 13, 22. So it is rupees 2,22,500. So students, this is the way in which we will prepare the balance sheet. Now if you want, you can take a screenshot of it. So students, on the next class we will see the another numerical question. Till then, goodbye.